All right, so I guess there's been there's some news going on with the LA sort of protests. There's still ice raids going on in LA in case anyone didn't know about that. There's still the little Gestapo freaks are trying to didn't they go after like some random like Iranian like or Persian sort of immigrant and try to ask what his like connections to Iran was, even though he hasn't been there for like decades or some shit. Again, like guys, it turns out if you decide to go with like a quota system for your fucking Gestapo, the outcomes of that might be actually potentially bad. But the Pentagon decided to deploy 700 fucking Marines into Los Angeles for some reason, even though the Insurrection Act wasn't called on California at all whatsoever. After the National Guard was illegally fucking federalized by the Trump administration because of literally 5 Waymos being flipped and burnt over. Because that's why he fucking did it. It was because of fucking Waymos, dude. It's insane. But I guess the Marines are now leaving after, I don't know, basically doing nothing, I guess. It was just a complete waste of time. Great. Fantastic.
The Pentagon is pulling 700 U.S. Marines out of Los Angeles. They were deployed during the immigration raids and protests that followed. The announcement coming just after Mayor Karen Bass called once again for the federal troops to leave. Rob Hayes live in Sylmar with more. Rob.
Yeah, Mark, for about a month and a half, 700 U.S. Marines have been deployed here in Southern California. They were sent here to quell those immigration protests. But city and state officials say they were not requested, they were not needed, and they should have left a month and a half ago. They came, they saw, and now they're leaving. Roughly 700 U.S. Marines deployed to Los Angeles by the Trump administration have now been ordered out of L.A.
They will be leaving Los Angeles. They were never needed in the first place. It was a misuse of our troops.
Ever since they were deployed.
Again, and like Karen Bass has said this herself, and I do agree with her on this fucking position. She basically said like the only reason why Trump is doing this is because he's trying to like use LA as like a petri dish to sort of test how like military style dictatorship and like military crackdown on Americans might fucking potentially play out when he tries to like, I don't know, shut down democracy and try to take all power for himself at this point, seemingly with like all the stuff that he's like trying to do with the judiciary. He's already not listening to a lot of stuff that Congress is fucking trying to put out for him, and they're actively trying to also protect him as well within the Republicans. Yeah, exactly. And just how much he can get away with, generally speaking, before being called on his fucking bullshit. That's like purely the point for as to like what he's trying to do within LA.
LA Mayor Karen Bass had been pushing the White House to remove the Marines and the California National Guard. Attention! Earlier this month, about 2,000 National Guard members also deployed by President Trump were removed. And today the Pentagon issued a statement saying the Marines will be leaving. Reading in part, their rapid response, unwavering discipline, and unmistakable presence were instrumental in restoring order and upholding the rule of law.
The Marines that were...
Yeah, dude, they've been doing a great job at upholding order within LA. See, totally, man. Listen, Boy Meets Mini has even attested to this himself, constantly saying, like, yeah, it's, like, kind of scary to go out and, like, do anything at all whatsoever, because it's, like, he doesn't know if he's just going to get, like, randomly black-bagged, because he is Indian, so he more than likely would probably get mistaked as being, like, Hispanic or some shit, and potentially get, like, deported from the United States, which is insane, dude.
Never needed here, that never played a role in crowd control. They're not trained to do that. They're trained to kill the enemy on foreign lands. The enemy is not Angelinos.
Bass this morning holding a news conference at LA Mission College in Sylmar, where she and other speakers described the military presence as a political stunt, and an expensive one at that. The deployments, according to the Pentagon, set to cost upwards of $134 million in taxpayer funds.
$134 million
nice.
in counting from a budget that just cut Medicaid. And what that translates to California is Medi-Cal, SNAP, Cal Fresh.
Now, not all the troops are gone. There's still an estimated 2,000 National Guard members who are still deployed in the LA area.
Yeah, the National Guardsmen haven't left. I thought they took out some of them. I thought they took out about half of them. But yeah, totally. You still need the fucking National Guardsmen to guard the fucking Gestapo. What? Like, it's so fucking silly. So what? The U.S. Marines being mobilized to Los Angeles are being sent home. So the 700 Marines, with stability returning to Los Angeles, even though like the situation was already pretty well under fucking control to begin with. They just sent them in as like a show of force and for like no reason. It's fucking stupid and ridiculous, but whatever. Secretary has directed the redeployment of 700 Marines whose presence sent a clear measure. Lawlessness will not be tolerated. Again, the only reason why they did this is just because they burnt fucking 5 Waymo vehicles. That's literally the entirety of the reasoning for as to why they deployed the fucking National Guardsmen. It's like, no, they burnt down 5 Waymo vehicles. I can't believe that these protesters will burn them down. Yeah. It's just like, bro, what kind of fucking pathetic ass bullshit is this? All of that over 5 fucking Waymos. Fuck off with this bullshit, man. Chief Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell said in a statement Monday, adding that their rapid response, unwavering discipline, and unmistakable presence were instrumental in restoring order. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, honestly, yeah, Waymos are pretty dangerous. Yeah, it probably is self-defense. I wouldn't be surprised about that. So Parnell announced last week that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth had released 2,000 National Guard members with the 75th Infantry Brigade team from duty. The Marines, 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, 1st Marine Division were mobilized in June and assisted in protecting federal buildings and personnel. What they really wanted was to just have the fucking fascist Gestapo not have any fucking more rocks thrown at them, because guess what? LA is a fucking sanctuary city, and unlike in New York, Karen Bass is actually willing to enforce those fucking sanctuary city laws. And also, California, sanctuary state. You can't just deploy federal assets to just randomly black bag people, which is what the Trump administration has been doing the whole time. Which is why there's been fucking riots on the street and people trying to push back against ICE. That's the entirety of the reasoning behind all of this. Not because of like, oh yeah, dude, this is like totally intended to just be like, you know, a rounding up of like dangerous criminal migrants. Totally. Yeah. And it's just like, fuck off, dude. It was never about any of that. You just want to fucking black bag a bunch of people so you can like deport them to fucking prison slave labor camps in fucking El Salvador. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. They were intended to provide the task force overseeing the Federal Protection Mission in LA. Oh, sure, dude. Yeah, the Federal Protection Mission of rounding up people for your fucking Gestapo quotas. Totally. With adequate numbers of forces to provide continuous coverage of the area and support of the lead federal agency, U.S. Northern Command, said at the time. Totally. Still another roughly 2,000 California Army National Guard soldiers assigned to the mission who were mobilized later in June. California Governor Gavin Newsom said in a statement Monday called for the remaining National Guard soldiers to be withdrawn from the state. Still wondering how that lawsuit is going. I'm assuming it's probably like going through the fucking courts or something. Women and men of California National Guard deserve more than to continue serving as puppets for Trump and Stephen Miller's performative political theater. There was never a need for the military to be deployed in Los Angeles. Damage is done, however. We again call upon them to do the right thing and end the militarization. Karen Bass welcomed the decision to withdraw the Marines. Another win for Los Angeles. Just this morning, I stood with veterans, families of active duty officers, and business leaders to show the impact of this unnecessary, unprecedented, and unconstitutional assault on our city. The Marines' deployment to LA was immediately met with criticism as a significant escalation of use of the military by President Donald Trump. LAPD Chief Jim McDonald said at the time the arrival of the Marines, absent clear coordination, and would present a significant logistical and operational challenges for those of us charged with safeguarding the city. Yeah, because again, they didn't like tell the governor that they were going to do this. They told none of the local or state officials that they were going to fucking do this. They just randomly were just like, we're just going to deploy them. Fuck it. Who cares? Like, we got to protect the fucking 5 burning Waymos, folks. Not the Waymos. The Waymos are so... I can't believe that they would do this to the fucking precious, precious Waymos. It's so fucking goofy that this is like sort of like the situation that this ended up, culminating into. And guess what? Did the Marines even really do anything? No, they probably mostly just like sat around, well, I don't know, like holding their guns and were just like, well, I guess we're stuck here now. At least we're getting paid to fucking stand around and basically do nothing instead of, I don't know, drilling or whatever. So that's cool, I guess. The Marines, like the National Guardsmen, who were activated under Title 10 status, were prohibited from conducting law enforcement activity, which is outlawed under the Insurrection Act. Newsom said in a statement in June that the level of escalation is completely unwarranted, uncalled for, and unprecedented, adding the Trump administration was mobilizing the best-in-the-class branch of the U.S. military against its own citizens. Senior Pentagon official said during congressional hearing last month that the mobilization of the Marines and the National Guardsmen was costed to estimate $134 million. You know, for all these motherfuckers who constantly complain about what, I don't know, like fiscal fucking responsibility, they're totally okay with just like throwing military money around all fucking willy-nilly. Like they don't give a shit about any of this stuff. It's so fucking stupid. Current estimated cost, $134 million. Temporary duty cost, travel, housing, food. Brian McDonald, the Special Assistant to the Secretary of Defense, an official performing the duties of the Undersecretary of Defense, Comptroller, told the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Defense. As further on the funding mobilization, McDonald said it would come from other operation and maintenance accounts. Sure, man. During the same hearing, Hegseth correctly defended sending U.S. troops to L.A., arguing that all three requirements in the U.S. Code that authorizes the president to federalize National Guard apply to the situation. Yeah, but he's still supposed to notify the fucking governor if he's supposed to be goddamn, supposed to be deployed and federalized. That's how that's supposed to work. He still fucking broke the law. It's so fucking ridiculous and stupid. But yeah, he did a soy LARP fucking screed rant saying no, he totally is compliant with U.S. code here. Yeah. What do you mean that it wasn't compliant? It totally was. They were these seditionists, these traitors were trying to destroy the United States of America, even though there's no evidence of that whatsoever. He just wanted to do it so he can do some little soy LARP photo op shit and make it look like he's pretending to do something. It's so fucking stupid. Let's talk about the U.S. Code as a legal basis that the president used. It cites 3 examples and circumstances for the Guard: invasion from a foreign nation, which isn't happening; rebellion or dangerous rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States, which wasn't fucking happening. Whoa, a bunch of people were pushing back on ICE being randomly deployed in their city illegally and just blackbagging their friends, their fucking neighbors, in order to just deport them out of the country to another fucking nation's prison slave labor camp, and people are fucking pushing back and fighting against this. Yeah, dude, I wonder why people might be upset about ICE going around and randomly detaining people, including fucking children, because they also detain children. Or the president is unable with regular forces to execute the laws of the United States, which also wasn't fucking happening. Pete Aguilar said, which is triggered to justify the use. I don't know, you just read it yourself, and people can listen themselves, but it sounds like all 3 to me. This fucking complete moron, of course, said it's all 3. Was he drunk when he was saying this? That's a rhetorical question. He probably was drunk when he was fucking saying that stupid shit. Because basically none of them were fucking triggered. It was illegal. He was just doing it as a show of force in order to try to test the waters and see what happens if he were to try to do military fucking occupation of a fucking city of the United States of America. That was the entire point of this. The governor of California has failed to protect his people. No evidence of that whatsoever. Again, this is all over some fucking Waymos that got burnt down. 5 fucking Waymo vehicles. Again, I'm going to reiterate that point constantly. This is all over 5 fucking Waymos, dude. Along with the mayor of Los Angeles, and so President Trump has said he will protect our agents and our Guard, and our Marines are proud to do it. Yeah, sure, man. Complete fucking soy LARP idiot bullshit. All because, a stupid orange buffoon who barely understands the fucking law just wants to do a little bit of, I want to do a little practice run of military occupation. Woo, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Complete fucking psychotic fucking behavior. But again, this is expected from this merry band of fucking dipshits, that they're willing to just do anything possible, whether it be legal or illegal. It doesn't matter. They don't give a shit. They just want to fucking run a military dictatorship because they hate the American people, and they just want to run roughshod on all the fucking democratic states that they see as seditious fucking conspiracists, because of the simple fact that they don't like the fucking orange man that's in power. That's the entirety of the point of this. It's just complete fucking utter stupidity, stupid fucking bullshit for the express purpose of trying to, basically practice, what happens if we were to try to do military occupation? If I were to try to seize all power for my fucking self? Because that's the only way that the Trump administration could possibly enforce this dipshit dictatorship that he wants to try to build for himself. It's just fucking incredible to see that it's just completely fucking deteriorated at this point. The excuse over it being the burning down of fucking 5 Waymo vehicles. It's the most fucking pathetic, idiotic fucking bullshit I've ever seen on this fucking planet. It's just so fucking stupid. I don't think there's really anything else to say besides This is all really fucking dumb.